Thank you all for coming. Coach Haynes is joined by senior tight end Bryce Fackler. Coach, you can start us off with an opening statement.
Again, disappointing loss to, to Akron, but a lot of great individual performances, really on both sides. But what a great atmosphere! What a great, football game to sit there and watch. I'm sure for the fans. I want to thank everyone that came out because it was unbelievable atmosphere. That our guys that get excited about. So, and that's what it kind of lived up to, was building a rivalry game. And, we came up a little bit short. They made a couple plays, and we didn't at the end.
I asked Nick this after the game was bedtime, but did you see him yesterday? And if so, physically, how did you kind of get a gauge on how he felt?
Yeah, he's beat up. I mean, run the ball that many times and things. So he's beat up, but he'll battle. Be ready.
Obviously, the game just kind of dictates this. I don't think going in, you wanted him to get that many touches. I mean, do you kind of marching forward? Is that something you really kind of monitor based on a lot of things? In fact, he was injured obviously seriously even just last year.
I think again it kind of has to dictate how they're playing you a little bit and what's working and what's not. I don't think you ever go in there saying your quarterback is going to rush the ball for 34 times, but if it's what the game dictates and what's the game dictates, Again, he's playing a quarterback position, and in this style of offense, there are two running backs back there. So I think when everyone puts a title on him that's what he is, then it looks outrageous. But again, in this style of offense, it's really an H-back or whatever you want to call it, but it's not just a true quarterback.
Is it similar to what you ran in high school?
They were a little bit more spread. I can't tell you exactly. I just remember they were a little bit more spread, but I have no idea.
Did anyone look at him as a quarterback out of high school? Or was it pretty much guaranteed he was going to switch positions?
Yeah, I just know what we were doing. He wasn't highly recruited, just probably because he played that and he had to project him at what he was going to be. When we sat there recruiting him, I'm sure he had some smaller schools, but he had to prefer walk on to Toledo. And that's really about it. I can't answer that one.
How about for you, though?
Yeah, we knew we were going to, changing positions and putting him at a different position.
Bryce, just what was it like having, Nick out there?
It was definitely nice. Nick's a great competitor. I mean, that's, something you really look for in a guy. And, we knew that as an offense he was going to go out there and fight for every yard. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is. And it was, it was nice to have him out there. And, he did great.
Just kind of wanted to ask you about, you've been other places. Obviously, Ohio State's the one that really comes to mind right away, where it just seems like they, especially with Tressel, and in that one national championship year, they dug I don't know how many games out of the fire. Coming from a place like that, now you come here and it just seems like, the opposite. I mean, you guys are in position to win over and over, and you can't find a way to win. I mean, obviously, if you knew the answer to this question, you wouldn't be going through this. But what do you do to kind of try to make that happen?
Well, I think, and we talked about it this morning, and when Lou Holtz was here, he said there's a process of a program and building a program, and he broke it down to me, and we're part of in a phase of it that, first you got to teach kids how to prepare, and then you got to teach them how to compete, then you got to learn how to win, and then you got to learn how to win championships. And when you're building a program, that's where we are. Well, we prepare like crazy, we compete like crazy. Now we got to learn how to win. And there's phases in the game, and we talked about it this morning. When you look at the last 4 minutes of a half and the first 4 minutes coming out of halftime, we haven't been very good. You look at Penn State, you look at A&T, you look at where we can put teams away and put it away, we haven't done it. And that's what we have to learn as a team, to sit there and start, putting teams away so it doesn't have to come down to the end of the game or overtime or whatever it will be. So it's just the process that we are in, and we got to stick to it, and we got to keep educating our kids on this is what has to be done, at that point in time.
it seems like sometimes programs are able to do it faster than others, obviously. You go into it though, is just thinking, okay, there's no shortcuts here, it's just gotta be a process. How does it-
There is no shortcuts. I mean, there's no shortcuts, again, when you're talking about this program. And I can go through the numbers of the history, we all know it. There's no shortcuts.
Just I go back to the year that they did have the big year, when they won 11. I believe it was their MAC opener, they played Ball State. They were down late and pinned back. It was real similar to
Yeah.
the Akron game. I remember it was one of the first passes Keith threw should have been picked.
Right.
Game over.
Yeah.
But they caught a break and it wasn't picked. Next thing you know, they go 85. They win. They build confidence. It snowballs.
Yeah.
I know you say it's a process, but how important is it to get that first break to kind of get the ball rolling, and can it happen quicker if that happens and at the right time?
And that's the one thing that Coach Holtz said, that there is no timeline on it. You know, it could happen in a season, it can happen in 10 years, it can happen in 5 years. There's no timeline on it on when the process is going to happen. We talked to these guys, you know, this morning, it's like praying. The thing that you have to do is you got to keep praying. If you are a man of faith, you got to stay faithful to what you're doing. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Everybody wants it to happen a lot faster. We got to stay to what we do. Again, I'm not going to go through the numbers, but come on. I mean, we're not there. We're not that type of program. So and that's what we're trying to get to. And these guys as seniors know that all of our younger guys are watching. How we continue to do this is a process. Year one, when we start losing, it was, we couldn't get guys to show up on Sunday. You know, we couldn't get guys to stretch. But that's not the case now. So there's a lot of things that are happening, but it's just taking longer time to sit there and get it done. Yeah, do you want to catch a break here and there, but you execute right before half, and it's not a game. You plug it in, and it's not a game. You come out and you have the ball in the first 4 minutes, and you drive down and score. It's not a game. You stop them and don't give up big plays. It's not a game. So those are the things that we gotta make sure we control instead of trying to catch breaks.
Can you kind of touch on what he's saying as a player? I mean, and going through the process.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the big thing is we just got to get back to work, you know. I mean, it's a tough loss, obviously. And, you know, the nice thing about it is we get to go out and play another game this Saturday. I mean, we get to work this week and play Saturday. I mean, that's all you can do. Just put your head down and go to work. I mean, you know, a loss like that, you know, it stings, but the only thing you can do is get to work.
A little bit about maybe the X's and O's of changing the offense. Does it affect how tight ends and wide receivers are blocking a little bit, or how patterns they're running?
I mean, it's a little bit different, but at the same time, it's not too much of a change. I mean, it's very similar to what we've been doing. We just added Nick back there. Basically, like Coach said, 2 running backs. I mean, you know, it's not too much of a change, and it's for us really, but it's been a nice little bit of a change, I guess.
You touched on a bunch of individual performances on both sides. Could you, I mean, the obvious ones we've already talked about, but anybody else that maybe people wouldn't think that?
Well, of course, Nick, and I think, you know, Justin, you know, Rankin had a you know, a very good game. You know, on the defensive side, Jarrell Foster with the 2 picks, and we put him out there on the island, you know, a bunch, and they stopped throwing his way, you know, a little bit. So Jarrell had a nice game. Of course, Nate Holly, again, a nice, you know, solid performance, you know, also too. And I think our guys did a good job of stopping the run, you know, and then you get an offense like that spreads you out, and our guys did a good job of stopping the run. But, you know, but those guys come to mind, you know, Jarrell and Nate and Justin and Nick.
We talked a little bit about kickoffs and what you're going through there. I was just, is Adams I mean, obviously, if he was better than you had, you'd be having him in there. But is he an option? Is someone else?
Yeah, I think again, he did it in high school, but it's just like, you know, you get into the case of Melky of doing it all. and those guys start doing too much, and then his punting goes down, But at this point, yeah, we got to try something. But you wish that you didn't have to do it because he is still a true freshman. He is a guy that's punting the ball well for us, that you just want him to focus on that. But if he can do it, we'll sit there this week and see if he can. But, but he did do it in high school, but we'll see. But it scares me to sit there and to have him trying to do it and put something else on his plate that he's doing, and he's punting so well for us as a freshman.
Just switching gears to Buffalo a little bit. I know their 3 losses haven't been too pretty, but they snuck up and beat Army.
Yeah.
When Army was hot. So, I mean, obviously they've got some capability.
Yeah, and they're going through a little bit offensively with youth pains. They kind of start off with the 2 quarterbacks they settled, on the Jackson kid, which we recruited, the kid from Honor Shores and up in Michigan. But big, strong, athletic, got a strong arm. I think they've settled on him, so they're going through that youth pains a little bit. They got 2 solid running backs that run the football hard, and they got length. Again, on the edges, I think they'll continue to get better. I think, again, that their scores, again, last week, they did move the football on Boston College, which is, statistically the best defense in college football. And you watch them on film and you see why. So that's a tough matchup for them, offensively, but they are playing well defensively. I think that's the strength of their team right now. Is their defense, and they're playing well on defense.
Weather looks good for the trip.
No snow, which is a good thing. I sat there and I thought about yesterday is, a lot of the stadiums we don't go to before because we've been to them, and this one, I don't know. I haven't been there, yet here as a head coach. We went there back when I was assistant coach in 99, 2000, but, I don't know how many of our guys have been to this stadium because we never made it to the stadium, last time. So, we'll get there a little bit before so guys can walk around and get a lay of the land a little bit. So, but no snow, which is a good thing. No underwear runs like we had to make 2 years ago.
Question for both of you from Henry from the state, or just if you could revisit that a little bit, just some of the feelings throughout that whole trip to Buffalo that really, stuck out.
I mean, it was crazy. I mean, because it was kind of like, and like I said, I think I said it, 2 years ago, I commended the kids because it was like we were going to play, and then we wasn't going to play. We were going to play. I mean, so we had so many walkthroughs, before the game was started. All right, let's go have a walkthrough, and guys would do it, and then, no, we're not going to play. Then we do another walkthrough. So that was the strange thing. And should we have maybe 15 players get stuck on the elevator, also too? That was halfway open that we could look down there and see them. And, I mean, they were stuck. I don't know how long it was. It was quite a while. We had to send food down, to them because they had to eat because they got stuck going to dinner. And it was a while, and it was kind of strange because none of the maintenance people or something was there, so they had to stay there and wait, and they had to call. So that was an interesting thing. And then I'm probably taking all the stories, and then the underwear run, that was the craziest thing ever in all my years of coaching. Of just, we were like a thrift store of just going out, having a bunch of underwear and T-shirts laid out on tables and guys coming to snatch them because, when you go on these away trips, you pack for one night, and we were there for 4 days, and I don't think it's good hygiene to wear the same underwear for 4 days, but so that was the craziest thing, ever. But like I said, our guys were ready, to sit there and play, and we kept on having meetings and kept on doing it day after day after day, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, let's go home, and we went home.
Bryce, anything else that sticks out?
Like Coach said, it was really weird, every time going back down and, you're getting ready to leave the hotel, you're ready to go, you're starting to get into your mindset to play, and then I think Coach would bring us up and say, all right, guys, not gonna play this time. Maybe we're gonna plan for tomorrow. I mean, it was a little tough. It was weird though, very weird. And I'm thankful I wasn't one of the guys on the elevator because they were on there forever, and I was starving when I got there because it was a long trip. But yeah, it was interesting, that's for sure.
Anything in particular out of the ordinary that you go in here to this game in particular, kind of think you need to accomplish, or just pretty much the usual things?
Yeah, we just got to continue to get better. We talked about, again, just finishing games and, starting games and just continue to get better. That's kind of like Bryce said. We just got to go to work, and just continue to go to work and continue to compare to put ourselves in position to win and then learn how to win. That's kind of where we are. We got to learn how to win.
Oh, just one more real quick. I mean, you put off in the center.
Mm-hmm.
How did that go? Seemed like you did pretty well.
Yeah, it went well. And then, Stefano, we moved Stefano out to tackle, and he did a good job too. Got to get better. And again, he comes in all the time, and he's probably the first one in, on Sunday, coming and watching it. And but though that group will continue to get better, but that's probably what we will stick to, moving forward.
Did you think that's the best your line's played this year overall?
Yeah, again, when you look at the numbers and you look at the things that happen, I think, it's probably the best that they have played. But again, play with a lot of confidence. And I think, again, with moving those guys, I think it's our best fit.
All set. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you.